So watch this. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 7, and we're going to start at verse 25.
Always good for a few.
Watch this. Now, remember, we just read about the customs of the people of vain, okay? The graven images of their gods shall he burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take unto thee, lest thou be snared therein. Basically, it will be a trap. When they say snared, it will be like a trap. Bad things will end up happening. For it is an abomination to the Lord. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house, lest thou be a cursed thing like it. But thou shalt utterly detest it. Thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. So a cursed thing, what the Most High is saying, would be the graven images. And a lot of times how you would honor your graven images, okay, amongst the nation, some people would bring gifts. When you check out the so-called Moabites, the Chinese, they, inside their restaurants, they would have a Buddha, and they would bring either fruits and vegetables and just put it at the base of that fake god. Same thing. We here in the Western world, we think that we're so special, we have the right way. But guess what? We are setting up the image of the Christmas tree, and we're putting gifts underneath that tree.
Jeremiah 10. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman, with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold, they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good.
Oh no. You'll shoot your eye out? My mother must have gotten to Miss Shields. There could be no other explanation.
You'll shoot your eye out! You'll shoot your eye out!
Many days is
No,
yet
when
to
the red undercover nation doing a jet with my Lee rifle.
Too many times has
You'll
come
shoot your eye
to
out, kid.
pass.
Merry Christmas.
Too many
Ho,
moments put
ho,
aside.
ho.
Getting out of life.
Shalom, Israelite family. This is your boy Jakim. Right now in the world, many people believe that they're doing the right thing by celebrating Christmas. But what I come to find out over these years, many people don't know what they worship. Many people say that they worship Jesus Christ. Many people say that they worship God. Many people don't know that there's a separation between God and Jesus Christ. Many people don't know, all right, the God of the Bible is only the God of the Israelites. Okay? No, the God of the Israelites, he gave us holidays. All right, holy days. But since we've been in captivity for over 400 years. All right, through all the nations of the world. Each nation had a chance to rule. Right now we're in the nation of Esau. And ever since we've been in slavery, we've been keeping the customs, all right, of our oppressors. All right, watch this. Let's go to John 4. St. John's 4. First, St. John's 4 and 22. Ye worship, ye know what worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh to worship him. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. All right? For the Father seeketh much to worship him. If we worshiping the Father, should we be keeping pagan holidays? Everybody has Google now. You have the internet. You can find out all these questions you've been trying to find out for years. Why are we doing Christmas? Why are we doing Valentine's Day? Okay? Why is it a burden on some parents to try to get the gifts, get an extra job to get that extra Christmas money? All right? But we're going to find out today, because Christmas, it is talked about in the Bible. And when you go back to the Bible, you're going to find out whether something is good or bad. All right? So we just read, ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Many people in the world don't know what they worship. So let's go right to it. Let's go to Jeremiah 10. All right? Jeremiah 10, we're going to start at verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord spake unto you, O house of Israel. All right, the house of Israel. If this is your first time, finding out about the Israelites, the so-called Israelites today, all right, our names have been changed through slavery, the diaspora. All right? But because we fit the curses in Deuteronomy 28, this is how we know who we are. All right? You're not going to be able to find it through Ancestry.com. Okay? The Bible already had certain prophecies set up and things that was supposed to happen to the real Israelites in the last days. Okay? So watch this. Jeremiah 10, we're going to start at verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord spake unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe.
Cutting down a tree for Christmas. We're not going to do it with this. We're going to have a little fun, a little twist today. Haley, can I have my nozzler chainsaw? Cutting down a tree for Christmas. Cutting down a tree for Christmas. Cutting down a tree for Christmas. We're not going to do it with this. We're going to have a little fun, a little twist today. Haley, can I have my nozzler chainsaw?
Yes.
Thank you, Haley. So what we got here is 77 grain custom competition nozzle rounds with 60 rounds of freedom in this Magpul magazine. Ready? America!
They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not, so it doesn't fall over. All right? Now we have fake trees, and they usually come with a tree stand. But back then, the custom was to actually go in the forest, cut down a nice tree of your liking, and bring it in the house. We're going to find out if that's upright. Okay? Watch this. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither is it in them to do good. Because when you go back and you check the Babylonian customs, Nimrod was a deity, and the tree symbolized Nimrod. His mother forced the people to bring gifts and to worship him.
Christians around the globe celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ on the date of December 25th, but in fact, this is not when he was born at all. No one really knows the true date of Jesus' birth. But why do we celebrate it then on
No,
December
that's a lie.
25th? And where do all
The
these
scholars
holiday
do know when
traditions
Christ
come
was
from?
born. Okay, he was born in the
Legend has it
springtime.
that the date of
When you
December
read
25th was
Luke
ceremoniously
chapter
picked
2,
because it has to do
all right,
with the
and
winter
verse
solstice.
42, it tells you, and when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the customs of the feast. after the custom of the feast. Springtime. Okay?
Which in Babylon was Nimrod reincarnated as Tammuz. In a nutshell, the story goes that Semiramis was Nimrod's mother, who he incestuously married. Nimrod died at some point in his reign, and Semiramis bore a son not long after on December 25th, who she claimed to be supernaturally conceived by reanimating Nimrod's dead body. After Nimrod's death, his so-called mother-wife Semiramis propagated the doctrine of the survival of Nimrod as a spirit being. She claimed a full-grown evergreen tree sprang overnight from a dead tree stump, which symbolizes the springing forth unto new life of the dead Nimrod. On each anniversary of his birth, she claimed, Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts upon it. December 25th was always the birthday of Nimrod. Every Christmas, when you buy a Christmas tree, exchange gifts, or burn a Yule log, you're partaking in the ancient Babylonian mystery religion tradition and not even...
If you did not worship him the way how she set up, okay, she would basically call curses on you. People would have a bad feeling that if I don't do this, bad things are going to happen. Okay? Same running up to today. If you do not bring somebody a gift, if you do not show up at somebody's house, they feel offended. Me personally, I have not done Christmas in 5 years. Ever since I found out that I'm an Israelite, and we have to keep the laws and customs of our nation. All right? It do matter. We're going to show you that why it matters in a minute. All right? So it says, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. What custom today? Do people take a tree, deck it with ornaments symbolizing silver and gold, okay, and bring it in their house? What custom is that? Just think. Let's jump to Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 25. Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 7. And the reason why we bring this out, there's awakening happening in the world, and some people might be offended, or might be embarrassed. All these years they've been keeping Christmas, and now you're finding that you're Israelites. Now you're finding that you're an Israelite. You have to decide whether you're going to be keeping the pagan customs or you're going to be keeping the customs of the Bible. Because instead of keeping Christmas, you could keep Hanukkah. Hanukkah goes for 7 days. Okay? And it's not about no lights, Hanukkah. Hanukkah is about us recovering the temple back from the heathen, crushing them, okay, and rededicating the temple. They went into our temple, they broke down all the altars, they stole all the ornaments. We had, menorahs. We had menorahs. We had the 7 candlesticks, and anything of metal. Anything metal was of value, okay? Because the things that we would have in the temple would be decked with silver. There would be either gold, all right? So even if you got a candlestick, guess what? That candlestick might have been gold or brass, okay? And you could melt that down and make a sword. So the things that they took out of our temple, basically they desecrated it, because another nation of people is not supposed to be going into our temple, touching anything, okay? Not even any of the 12 tribes could go up into the temple where the priest had to do his service, okay? You had to be from the Levite tribe. So this is not about hate. This is not about trying to say, you know what, this person can't do that, this person can't do this. There was always order in Israel, okay? So watch this. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 7, and we're going to start at verse 25. Watch this. Now remember, we just read about the customs of the people are vain, okay? The graven images of their gods shall he burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take unto thee, lest thou be snared therein. Basically, it will be a trap. When it says snared, it will be like a trap. Bad things will end up happening. For it is an abomination to the Lord. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house, lest thou be a cursed thing like it. But thou shalt utterly detest it. Thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. So a cursed thing, what the Most High is saying, would be the graven images. And a lot of times how you would honor your graven images, okay, amongst the nation, some people would bring gifts. When you check out the so-called Moabites, the Chinese, they, inside their restaurants, they would have a Buddha, and they would bring either fruits and vegetables and just put it at the base of that fake god. Same thing. We here in the Western world, we think that we're so special, we have the right way. But guess what? We are setting up the image of the Christmas tree, and we're putting gifts underneath that tree. All right. Now, many of these holidays, they mimic the biblical customs, because guess what? On Hanukkah goes for 7 days, and if you wanted to, you could give somebody a gift for 7 days. All right. So it's telling you here, the graven images of their God shall he burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination to the Lord thy God. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house, lest thou be a cursed thing like it. But thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. So that cursed thing, when we're dealing with Christmas, is the Christmas tree. Okay? Now, let me show you something. When it says a cursed thing, what's going to happen? Let's jump to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Because what many fail to realize, especially in the Christian church, we don't realize the promises of the kingdom pertain to only one people. Right now, the Most High has given the earth into the hand of the wicked, okay? And whoever has the power in the earth at the moment, they have been ruling the world in wickedness and very unjustly. Okay? But the Bible is very specific to one nation of people. Christ did not come to die for the Moabites, the Philistines, the Egyptians. People have not even thought. These people are still here and they're still ruling in their kingdoms. But they have changed their names. That's why you're not familiar with who they are. But we still keep their customs, and we are at the bottom. Okay, watch this. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28. This is where you will go to prove who are the Israelites today. All right? Not Ancestry.com. Okay? There would be a list of bad, evil things that would happen to these particular people. Okay? Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, future prophecy. This is Moses talking to us. Okay? Moses saw the beginning of times, the middle of times, and the end of times. What's the end of time? These last days. All right? Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I commanded this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Okay? Now, listen and watch this very, very good. All right? What I want to bring out, let's see here. Let me go to 43. Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. So this is one of the curses. From just reading this, you know this is not equality, because at this point, the Most High is declaring that, guess what? You Israelites, my chosen people, were going to be at the bottom, and everybody else was going to be at the top. Let me read this again. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee this day. Let me read another curse. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given away unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with them, longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in their hand, in thine hand.
When you find that open door, you gotta let them love you more.
Sometimes they will take that baby and give it to another plantation owner, just because, hey, he came over during Christmas, he saw a cute baby, he saw a cute woman, they may see a man that they desire, and guess what? You will be taken from your family, okay, shipped somewhere far across the seas, across the you know what I mean, the states, and you would never see them again. This is what the Bible is talking about. Right now, 2018, you have things going on down there by Mexico and the border, where kids are getting taken away from their moms, all right, put into different camps. And it's going to be months and probably years before every kid is reunited with their family. And believe me, all this time, people are going through emotional state where they're crying, they don't know what they're going to do, they don't know where their kids are, and they're crying themselves to sleep. Little do you know, by us just keeping pagan holidays like Christmas, this is what the curse does. The curse comes upon us, you Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? So let me read this again. It says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall no might be in thine hand. 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. I'll make it even more plain. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy necks until he have destroyed thee. Watch this. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. When the so-called Edomites came, we didn't know Spanish, all right? We didn't know English. We knew Hebrew. That was our native language, okay? Fast forward up, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. All right? So we didn't know anything about Christmas. Anytime you read about birthdays in the Bible, we were always the slaves. We were always the gifts. Okay, John the Baptist got his head taken off because the queen's daughter wanted John the Baptist's head. Okay, so we knew our age, but we did not go about celebrating our birthdays. Okay, in the Torah, in the Bible, we have holidays in Leviticus. Okay, and these holidays are to be commemorated first before any traditional holidays. But because we don't know who we are, we've been keeping the holidays of our oppressors. All right? Go to Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Watch this. Colossians. Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. Okay? Christ did not give us Christmas. Christmas is a Babylonian custom that we have been learning ever since we've been in slavery. Bacchanal, that's a custom dedicated to the god Bacchus of fertility. Okay? We never used to keep these little holidays, man. When we start getting back to the true biblical holidays, the Most High is going to protect us. And it's going to be hard because years we've been doing the same thing. All right? Christmas was my favorite holiday. But guess what? Ever since I found out that Jeremiah 10 says, guess what? We're not supposed to keep it. I do not show up at any family events for Christmas or anything of that sort. All right? This is what we're doing. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 5. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bring it into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. All right? So what we're doing, we're casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. Because now they're saying, you know what? Christmas, this is better than keeping Hanukkah. Okay? So you have a lot of people that think in their mind, you know what? That Jesus thing, that Christ thing, that's old time days. That's no more. All right? This is a new thing. And because we have cell phones, we have cars, we're modern. But guess what? Within an hour, all this stuff is going to be burnt up. All right? So what we got to do, we got to come back to the laws. We got to come back to the culture, the customs of our forefathers. All right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let's go to Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord spake unto you, O house, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. And as you can tell, we have been getting punished. All right? Our guys, our young boys have been killed in the streets. Our women have been kidnapped. All right? You got pedophilia on the rise. You have mothers not loving their sons or daughters. Okay? The church is not teaching the laws. They're teaching what I would say is modern European Christianity. That has nothing to do with the Bible. Modern European Christianity teaches you the laws are done away with. All right? The Gentiles are everybody. Okay? And Christ died for everybody. Amen. And you don't have to keep the holidays that is designated in the Bible. All right? But what you're going to realize, if you say you want to be in the kingdom, okay, we must be doing the customs now, okay, that we would be doing in the kingdom. Okay? A lot of times people don't realize everything is already laid out, what we're supposed to be doing. Right now we're just rehearsing. Watch this. Let's go to, all right, Judges 5 and 11. All right. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing water, basically that's our captivity, there shall ye rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of the village in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. Okay? So we're supposed to be practicing the righteous acts now. Okay? Your Passover, your Hanukkah, your new moons, all right? Your Pentecost, your days of Simon, the Day of Atonement, all right? These are the things we have to get familiar with and practice doing them, all right? A lot of people say, you know what, I've been in Christianity for years. How can I change? Guess what? That's not even an option. It's not even an option, because we must be practicing the customs so the Most High see, you know what? Bam. He was here. He tried to practice the customs. When it's time to, for us to be judged and to be delivered, you could be considered. The Most High said the righteous will scarcely be saved. All right? What we're going to do next, we're going to jump to, let's see here. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Actually, Leviticus. Let's do Leviticus. All right. So, watch this. Leviticus chapter 1 and verse 18. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein he dwelt, shall he not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, ye shall not do, neither shall he walk in their ordinances. Ye shall do my judgments, and keep mine ordinances, to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord. Okay? So this is what been laid out ever since the world started. The Most High had a separate people, and we are to do and keep his laws. The Most High God is a jealous God, so he doesn't want us to keep the customs of the Egyptians, who we used to be, in captivity to. Okay? The so-called real tribal Africans. Okay? He does not want us to keep the customs of the Grecians. Many of you that are in university, you guys are in, the Greek letters and things like that. He does not want us to keep the customs of the Moabites and the Ammonites, Chinese and Japanese. We're not supposed to be keeping their worshiping Buddha. Okay? Giving honor and taking fruits to this God that you see in the Chinese store. Okay? It's not saying that you can't eat Chinese food. The law is not to worship their gods. Okay? So there's many things that we have to relearn. And if you've been asking yourself why these things have been happening to us, the Bible gives you a clear account of why we're at the bottom and everybody else is at the top. So watch this. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. Let me jump to verse 16. Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings. All right? So it's showing you, through a process of time, an ungodly custom, all right, grown strong was kept as law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings. So Christmas is one of those customs that was established as law. Why? If you can get everyone to celebrate Christmas at the end of the year, so-called end of the year. That's going to boost the numbers going into the new year, the first quarter. And that's what Christmas has been all about, making money. It has never and never will be about the birth of Christ. Biblically, the Israelites never celebrated our birthdays. Okay? So that's one of the things we want to show you guys. Thanks for listening. Remember, subscribe to the channel, like, share, okay? And we're going to pray to the Most High that He gives us more understanding. And I pray for everyone out there. Pray for Israel, all the camps out there. All right, there's a lot of things going on. And pray for your brother.
Many times has come to pass.
We're going to get through this. All right?
Too many moments put aside. Getting out alive, getting out alive. Writing letters in the sand.